Great afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this influence session for Southeast Queensland. We had a great session last month with lots of interaction. There's just 3 of us on this in the panelist section of this Google Hangout on air, but we have a very juicy topic to discuss today for Southeast Queensland in business. So I'd like to firstly welcome our panelists to the call today. Hi, Kellie. This is Kellie McDonald from Ginger Days Recruitment. How are you, Kellie?
I'm great, thanks, Emma.
Excellent. And we've got Donna Hamer, who will be joining us from the Sunshine Coast. How are you today, Donna?
I'm awesome, thank you, Emma, and thanks for having me here. I'm looking forward to being able to give my point of view about the new rollout.
Excellent, excellent. So just a bit of an update, as we normally do for Southeast Queensland in business. Some of the topics throughout March that hit the business headlines were, there was the Click Digital Expo that happened in the middle of the month. I didn't make it because I wasn't in town, but did either of you two attend?
No.
No, unfortunately I didn't myself. Would have been interesting.
It would have been. So we'll have to have a look at some blogs and some people that did go, and perhaps next month they can join us and tell us what they learnt now that they've had time to digest the information. So the other big announcement for Brisbane throughout the month of March was that our airport will be open 24/7, which is fantastic for Brisbane and business because Melbourne, I think both Melbourne and Sydney have curfews, is that right?
I believe so.
Yeah, so that's great for advertising Brisbane as a real business hub and a real international hub because we've got that flexibility. How would that affect you guys with your businesses? Kellie? Go for it, Kel.
Oh, so with my particular business, it wouldn't really impact me at all unless it meant that more head offices were being opened here due to the accessibility and therefore, companies needing to recruit large numbers of people. That would be the biggest impact that would have.
Absolutely. And your husband has an international business, so would that help his business at all, Kellie?
It would, in terms of being able to, the ease of travelling overseas and flight times. At the moment you definitely are very hamstrung by the flight times getting to different places around the world. There's only a certain number of flights per day and there's certain hours that they go. But definitely I think with the way we're heading with the topic today with the national broadband network, the open up of the internet will be a much bigger help, I think.
A bigger help than the airport, yeah?
Possibly, yes.
Yeah, yes. Donna, what are your thoughts on the airport being open all hours now?
Well, strategically it won't affect me because we live up at the beautiful Sunshine Coast. However, I think that it would be great for economy because obviously a lot of people come into Brisbane and then they connect and come up here. So tourism-wise for locally us up here will be awesome. But for me personally, it's not going to affect me because my business is basically run through a briefcase and my laptop. So the most critical thing to me is obviously the internet.
Excellent, excellent. Good to know your views. I'm excited because, as Kellie said, it gives me much more flexibility when it comes to choosing flights, which, has a big impact. If you're planning on going to a conference and it starts at this time, if you've got more flexible options as to when you arrive, then that's good for business and being actually present when you're overseas. So I'm excited. But Donna, on that topic of the internet, and your business, let's get started as to what you guys actually do. So Donna, would you like to kick us off by introducing your business?
Thank you, Emma. I thought we were going to start with Kellie. I was looking forward to doing the follow-on from there. Well, actually, I'm just going to roll back a little bit because primarily I started online 13 years ago. And I actually worked for a company that did domain names and internet or domain names and hosting. And I've grown from there. In fact, I moved into ebooks and of course I then eventually moved into social media, which was in 2010. So my company is Simple Online Solutions. But from there we developed into a more of a niche, which was fan page competition. So we developed a contest app for Facebook. But it's been a really exciting and wild ride dealing with Facebook because it changes its mind, you know, as to how the platform is. So it's a fairly unstable business to be in if you're just focusing around Facebook, and more particularly, it gives you the opportunity then to move into other areas of social media. And as such, I'm now actually moving into digital magazines. So we're going to be using all of our skills that we've learnt over the last 3 years from social media and all the previous skills we've learnt with online marketing and ebooks, etc., and moving into just solely work with digital magazine publishing. And that's actually going to be an app that you would have on your beautiful little iPhones. And actually, iPads are one of the fastest growing trends for devices, and it'll be rolled out primarily for iPads. So a bit of a long-winded story there, but I've been online and I love the internet. Can I be a junkie? I've been a junkie online for 13 years.
Oh, nice, nice. So thank you so much for sharing with us what you do, and your business certainly suits our topic for today, which we'll get into in a second. But Kellie, would you mind introducing yourself to everyone as to what your business does?
So my business is Ginger Days Recruitment, and we predominantly do professional recruitment right across the board. We do specialise in sales and marketing roles, but I do professionals across the board and definitely right across industries. Now, do you want us to go into how we use the internet now?
No, not yet, not yet. We'll finish off the introductions first, so thank you for that. Now, as for me, my name's Emma Monro, and I am the CEO of a company called YOSM. So we deliver franchise support systems of ongoing training and coaching, hosting company-wide meetings, and in general, getting in there with your business to help support your franchisees across the board, not just in a regional level. So that's what we do. So our topic for this influence session for Southeast Queensland is, first of all, how are you using the internet for your business? But secondly, how will the NBN improve upon that experience? So Kellie, we're going to go straight back to you. How do you use the internet for your business?
I use the internet for my business in a number of ways. First of all of the roles that I recruit for are published not only on my website but generally on some type of online job board, whether it be SEQ or My Career or Career One. I also publish them across social media. But probably the biggest new development in terms of how I am using the internet is with video interviewing and online interviewing of the candidates, which really helps candidates to get in front of the client quicker, to be able to do their interview outside of work hours in their own privacy, and present their best self forward really for a particular role, and it's helping clients a lot in actually being able to see a broader range of candidates, to be able to review candidates in their own time, to possibly not even listen to somebody's whole interview because they've realised that they're not the right person. So a lot of time saving there for clients as well, but also being able to see a candidate's cultural fit as opposed to just their skills that are listed on a resume. So the internet is extremely important for that, and I have had instances through the video interviewing where people, for instance, haven't been able to upload their videos because they've taken them, the resolution of the video has been too high, and they've been, with their bandwidth, have been unable to upload it. Yes. I've also had issues where because it's been raining recently, their internet hasn't been sound enough to upload the videos at times. So, you know, we're definitely looking forward to some upgrades there across the board.
So you're hoping to alleviate those challenges with the NBN? Absolutely.
And it's definitely, you know, with video recruiting, it is the way the industry is going. A lot of large HR departments in large companies are using it already as well. It's perfect for remote recruitment where you're dealing with people on mine sites, in other states, overseas. and all of that is going to be aided by the National Broadband Network. And even where it is in remote areas in Australia, okay, they're not going to get fibre optic, they may have satellite, but that still should be enough to upload a video. You know, those people may still have to do lower resolution ones, but, you know, some remote roles I have worked on, there have been some challenges.
Okay, so just some questions that have come through from you on my iPad from people watching this, Kellie, is one is, are you seeing video resumes being sent through? And that's from a lady called Gemma.
No, Gemma, I'm not seeing video resumes being sent through, although it is something that we're starting to encourage. And, you know, certainly I am giving candidates the ability to do a pre-recorded standard interview that I can give them a link to, and they can actually use for applying for jobs themselves if they like. And I think that we definitely will go towards video resumes.
Fantastic. And the second question that's come through, and it's obviously from a Google Plus person because they know what a Hangout is, are you doing group interviews via Google Hangout or interviews with the employer? So I'm guessing that question is twofold. One, are you doing group interviews? And two, are you involving the employer as an introduction, basically?
Not as
final three.
Yeah, not as yet. The beauty of the types of video interviews that we're doing is that they are not in real time. They are pre-recorded questions. The candidate gets sent out a link. They can click on the link at any stage. So I'm not actually on the other side talking directly to them like in a Hangout or on a Skype call. It is done totally in their own time. They don't need to schedule me and have me on the other end of that call. It's just all recorded in their own home, in their own time. So I'm not doing group interviews. I think group interviews even in a face-to-face manner when lots of people are called into, we call them assessment centres, you know, definitely have their place. But at this stage, I can't imagine it having a place online, particularly when it comes to confidentiality and, you know, just privacy and issues like that.
Yes, definitely, definitely. But thank you for your questions, Gemma and Brendan. They're muchly appreciated, and keep flowing them through. So, Donna, tell us about how you're using the internet. Obviously, you know, you've got a digital publishing company, so you use the internet a lot. But can you go into that in a little bit more detail, please?
I think I often have days when I go, what happens if there was no internet? And I can tell you in this household, if the internet goes down, all you can hear is screaming coming out of each and every room because, you know, we live, and it's really sad to say that our whole lives are based around the internet. And you know, we had a chuckle before this, and I said I take Sundays off. When I take Sundays off, that means that I shut my actual laptop down. I still respond via mobile phone to the social media because, you know, I believe, particularly as I have a lot of clients that I manage their social media, that you need to still be on it. But I don't look at it that way. You know, if I'm up walking the beach on Sunday and a message comes through and it's something I feel that I need to respond to, I do it via the phone. But we live, and I don't know how our family or my family would live without the internet. And in about 8 weeks' time, I'm actually heading to Vietnam for a 2-week holiday, and I'm having this sort of little debate as to how am I going to be for 2 weeks? Will I have withdrawal symptoms? Will I need to go off to some health retreat and detox from the internet, because it is such a huge part of our day-to-day existence? And when I say that is that, you know, I get out of bed at 6 o'clock in the morning, I log online, I post, I check messages, I then go away, do the morning activity at home here because I do have the ability to work from home. But then, of course, I can go down and go to a local cafe and do my business there, because the way I have it structured is that everything I do can be managed via this little guy here. However, if I'm in an area that the internet is poor, then that's really frustrating. And, you know, when Kellie talked about doing videos, you know, we did a whole content marketing session on Friday of ways of creating videos to be able to create new content for blogs and for your social media, etc. And more, everything people do can be done by these little guys. And therefore, as I said, if I don't have the internet, we would be in mega detox in this place.
So how do you actually use it for, like, other than your basics with, you know, banking and email and social media and that sort of thing? Are you doing anything different with the internet at the moment?
Look, I don't know if you would call it different. I like to just be, I like to utilise all the tools that are available. And when I say tools, that means apps. That means, you know, being very savvy with what you do. So using, say, the app like Evernote that you can have on your PC, you can have on your mobile phone, you can have on your laptop, and you know, just being smarter about the way you work. And the only way we've been able to do that is being able to have the internet and use cloud hosting and all those sort of things.
Absolutely. And do you think, because, I mean, you're using video, yes, but it's not a core part of your business. And I mean, video is where I see the NBN having the most benefit for. Just having faster internet, is that going to have a massive impact on your business?
For me personally, I don't know that it's going to make a huge difference, because I'm pretty lucky where I'm situated is we've got pretty good broadband. However, talking to the gaming maniacs in my household, they're telling me our internet access is very poor, and that we should reconsider moving to 10 streets away where it's coming soon, because life is devastating. But, you know, having...
Are you getting peer pressure, Donna?
Yes, my teenager come home and said, "We have to move, Mum, we have to move." And I said, "Not going to happen, sweetheart. I like what we've got now." But, I mean, I pay a lot of money for internet because I get the fastest that we can get in this location. And so I am fairly lucky. But originally we were on dial-up, and I remember those days, and I remember how frustrating. And when Kellie talked about the rain, in fact, it was, touch wood, it was only like 8 months ago, and usually every start of the year, when we have loads of rain like we have now, bang, all of a sudden my internet will go down for 3 or 4 days. And you call up and you get tech support, and they drive me crazy. And it turns out that what's happened is the water, it heats up the your concrete, your blocks, whatever those things are called. I'm not in the building trade anymore, but you know what I mean. The things on the outside of your building swells up, and what it does, it keeps the moisture in all the lines, and bang, your internet goes down. And unless you actually get a tech-savvy, smart technician that comes in, most of them go, "Oh, there's nothing wrong with it," but it's all in the moisture in the line. So yeah, Kellie, I'm really keen about this upgrade, because hopefully those sort of things won't affect us anymore. And then it's not just sort of different locations, it's so many of the old lines out there that it's all affecting.
Absolutely. Kellie, did you have any thoughts on that?
Oh, no, just absolutely. And, you know, like, I think that all the old copper lines are definitely Telstra owned. So, you know, I think hopefully from a cost perspective, you know, opening up the ownership of the lines will be owned by the government. But, you know, being able to be on a constant playing field, or an equal playing field for all of the internet service providers, has to be good. In that they, you know, we will be open to some better offers and some better pricing, hopefully, and some more competitive pricing from them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And one thing, this may be a conspiracy theory, but one thing we noticed before we changed over to the NBN was, for the 3 or 4 months before we did change over, our internet started to get a bit dodgy. Again, not going into the conspiracy, but that was our observation.
So, Emma, from what you had before to what you've got now, what has been your differences, or what can you say you've considerably noticed the change?
Basically more certainty, because, I mean, we use these Google Hangouts. Google Hangouts is our business. It's how we deliver 99% of our live training and company-wide meetings to our clients. So internet connection is kind of important to us. So we were very excited to get the NBN, and where I'm moving to next will have the NBN. So that's definitely a consideration. So I don't know what sort of effect that has on property as it gets rolled out, but for me that's a definite consideration. and something perhaps real estate agents want to consider. So your question, Donna?
Was the difference that you've noticed? I mean, you said there's certainty, but certainty means what? That your speed is going to be consistently fast, or that certainty means that today you wake up and you're actually going to have internet connection?
Yeah, basically. So we have a lot less dropouts, a lot less slowness. So like you'll notice, I mean, we had a little bit of slowness before we started broadcasting, but we haven't had any speed issues during this broadcast. I mean, that obviously is dependent on your internet connections as well. But yeah, for me, certainty was a big thing. So I know I get up in the morning and I have a certain speed so that I can depend on it. So as a host, I know that generally if there is an issue, it's not my issue. I can help other people through the issues. So does that make sense?
Absolutely. And Emma, when I did a search online and to see when I was getting it in my street, and I actually didn't find the answer to that quickly, but what I did find is that there are lots of real estate ads up that say NBN not in this area yet, or NBN is in this area, or NBN, so it's definitely on the real estate agents' minds.
Fantastic, because it's certainly a question that that's one of the first things I ask when I'm looking at a property is the NBN connected?
Well, you think that they would put on the website, you know, you can go in there and do a search as to is it rolled out or whatever, but it just says it's not available yet. I would like that they actually be more savvy in that they say in your location it's going to be 6 months or 8 months or whatever. I mean, we know that might not be the case, but at least it gives you some sort of approximation to know. And a classic example was a friend of mine recently moved. Now she's an online business the same as me, you know, you work out of your briefcase, bang, you can roll into anywhere. And she moved to this beautiful new location, gorgeous home, everything that she'd wanted to, and all of a sudden they found out that they had just dial-up. And therefore for her business it was completely affected because she couldn't conduct day-to-day activities. And, you know, the fact that we have so much flexibility to enable us to be able to work any place, anyhow, means that, you know, people become restricted when they rely upon so heavily on the internet.
Absolutely. I mean, the rollout of the 4G for mobile devices will mean that NBN is less, I suppose, not necessary, but less dependent upon. Like I used 4G over in the States and ran 8 company-wide meetings all via Hangout, so that's, you know, high usage, and it was brilliant. I had no issues whatsoever. So I don't know what the status on 4G is. Do you know that, Donna?
No, I don't, but I do have 4G on my mobile phone, but then if I leave Mooloolaba and go to Kawana, it drops back to 3G. So, you know, it's not a stable. No, that's correct. On the Sunshine Coast, it's not. And I just think it's another one of these things that's unfortunately inconsistent. If they could be a little bit more consistent when they're telling us when things are rolling out, I think that would be so much better for businesses. And clearly, I'm not in real estate, but, you know, for those that are, that's probably something that they would really like.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I mean, Kellie, you're in a totally different area of southeast Queensland, and you mentioned that real estates are advertising at that. Have you noticed it on any actual listings, though?
Well, I just did a Google search and heaps of things came up, and they looked like listings to me.
Okay, well, that's good.
On the quick Google search that I did. Yeah, but I'm very surprised that they don't have the NBN mapped somewhere, and I think if we looked hard enough, I'm sure that we'd find it, because I'm pretty sure that they have a large geographical information systems team working on the project.
They do, because I'm looking at north side of Brisbane, and yeah, they've got it down to the streets on the map. I don't remember off the top of my head what the website is, but there is a map which shows you. Yeah, which is great. Very good. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us for this quick chat. We certainly covered a lot of topics in a very small time. We covered the Digital Expo, and it'd be great to have someone on board to talk to us about that experience for next month. So if anyone is watching, or Donna, Kellie, if you know anyone that did go to the Expo, we'd love to have them on the first Monday of next month to discuss that. So do you girls know anyone?
No, I don't, but we could do a shout-out.
We will do a shout out. So
Cool.
thank you so much, Kellie and Donna, for joining us. We will see you again next month, and that's it for us. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for having us in.
Bye.
Bye.
Pleasure. Bye.